Have you ever felt like you're just losing a battle with that little glowing rectangle in your pocket, like your attention isn't really yours anymore? Well, you're definitely not alone. So today, we're going to lay out a science-backed playbook to help you finally win it back.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You know that moment when you put your phone down and then like a minute later you find yourself picking it right back up without even thinking about it? Or when you realize a whole hour just vanished into a completely mindless scroll? It's a super frustrating and it turns out a very common feeling.
And look, this isn't just a feeling. The data is kind of staggering. This number right here, 2,617, that's how many times the average person touches, taps, or swipes their phone every single day. It's just an incredible amount of interaction when you stop and think about it.
And as if that wasn't crazy enough, check this out. 96. That's the average number of times we check our phones per day. Yeah. One study found that's about once every 10 minutes that we're awake. The scale of this habit is it's immense.
But here's the wild part. This isn't just you. It's not some personal weakness. This has become a totally shared, universal experience. We are all caught in this exact same loop.
So this is maybe the most important thing to get. If you've been beating yourself up thinking you just don't have enough self-control, you can stop. Seriously, this is not a personal failure. Your phone, and especially the apps on it, were built by teams of the world's smartest engineers and psychologists specifically to keep you hooked.
So let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how they do it. Because honestly, understanding the playbook they're using against you is the absolute first step to taking back control.
Okay, this is the secret sauce for them, right here. It's a psychological principle called variable reward scheduling. So our brains get a nice little hit of dopamine. That's the pleasure chemical when we get a reward. But what really gets us hooked is when the reward is unpredictable. We don't know if or when we're going to get it, so we just keep checking.
And this slide just nails the analogy perfectly. Your social media feed is, for all intents and purposes, a slot machine in your pocket. You pull the lever, by scrolling down, and maybe you'll get a great post, or a like, or a message from a friend, or maybe you'll get absolutely nothing. It's that maybe that keeps you pulling that lever over and over and over again.
And then you've got the other weapon, notifications. Every buzz, every ding, it hijacks this ancient survival instinct we have called the orienting response. That's our brain's automatic reflex to snap its attention to anything new. Each notification gives you this little jolt of stress and anticipation. That's a cortisol and dopamine spike, and it trains your brain to constantly be on the lookout for the next one.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's a system that's designed to grab your attention and not let go. But here's the good news. You can redesign your system to fight back. Let's get into some real actionable tips.
Okay, this first one sounds a little silly, but trust me, it is shockingly powerful. Go into your phone settings and turn your screen to grayscale. You see, all those bright, colorful app icons are designed to look like candy for your brain. They're visually rewarding. Taking away that color makes the whole device way less stimulating and really helps kill that compulsive urge to just check it for no reason.
The big idea here is out of sight, out of mind, and also making things just a little bit harder for yourself. If you have to swipe 3 times and open a folder just to find Instagram, that tiny bit of extra effort, that's the friction, is often all it takes to break the spell of a mindless habit. For bonus points, delete the app entirely and force yourself to log in through a web browser. It's a game changer.
All right, this next tip might be the most important one we talk about today. Research from the University of California, Irvine, found it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully get your focus back after an interruption. Just let that sink in. Every single notification costs you dearly, so be ruthless. Turn off everything except for maybe calls and texts from your absolute most important contacts. This one change puts you back in the driver's seat.
Look, trying to rely on willpower minute by minute is just exhausting. You'll lose. So instead, create rules for yourself. Make the decision once, so you don't have to fight that same battle 100 times a day. Charging your phone outside the bedroom? It's a classic for a reason. It really works. Same goes for no phones at the dinner table. You decide the rules.
Okay, so changing your phone and your environment is huge. But the next level, the real work, is about changing your internal environment, your own habits, and your mindset. Let's see how that works. If you just take the phone away, you can create this vacuum, and anxiety loves to rush in and fill a vacuum. So you have to ask yourself, what need is my phone really meeting right now? Am I bored? Am I lonely? Am I anxious? If you're bored, maybe you pick up a book instead. Anxious? Try a quick meditation. You have to replace the habit with something that actually helps.
Instead of letting your phone constantly interrupt you all day long, you're going to flip the script. Treat your phone time like a scheduled activity. Plan 2 or 3 phone sessions a day. Set a timer for 15 minutes, do whatever you need to do, and when that timer goes off, you're done. This simple shift moves you from being reactive to your phone to being proactive with your time.
You can't change what you don't measure, right? And the studies are really clear on this. Most of us underestimate how much time we spend on our phones by up to 50%. So go into your settings, turn on that screen time tracker, and just watch it for a week. No judgment, just awareness. That's always the first step.
Because honestly, seeing a chart like this with your own data can be a real punch to the gut. When you see that you actually spent 3 hours scrolling social media when it only felt like 30 minutes, well, that's often the wake-up call that you need to really get serious about making a change.
This one is gonna sound a little weird, but hear me out. We have to learn how to just be bored again. It's a skill we're losing, so practice it. Next time you're waiting in line for coffee, just stand there. Don't pull out your phone. Go for a walk without headphones. Tolerating those quiet moments is like strength training for your attention span.
And finally, our last tip. Don't try to do this alone. It's too hard. Tell a friend or your partner that you're trying to cut back. A lot of phones even let you share your weekly screen time report. Just knowing that someone else is going to see your numbers, well, it's one of the most powerful motivators for change there is.
So after all of this, what's the big takeaway? What does it all mean? It really comes down to reframing your entire relationship with this incredibly powerful device that we all carry around.
Let this one sink in for a minute. The phone itself, it's just plastic and glass and circuits. The addiction is to what it gives us so easily. That hit of connection, that jolts of stimulation, that feeling of validation. When you start to find healthier ways to meet those deep needs, the phone's power over you just starts to fade. It goes back to being what it should have been all along, a tool.
And really, that's the question to leave you with. Is your phone your tool, or have you become its? By redesigning your world and reclaiming your own mind, you can make sure that you are the one who's in charge. You can make the phone your tool again, instead of the other way around.